GPVWC 2020 is go!
Hello everybody and welcome to round 6 of the GPVWC Formula Challenge series here this evening. We will be at Canada this evening, Montreal, Canada, which will bring up some fantastic racing once again here. And again, it's been a bit of a rotation of commentators here. But we'll bring out another guest, and it's a guest of ours who we've seen before in GPWC, and now the owner of our new sponsor at GPVWC, Iain Racewear, Iain Berryman. It's brilliant to have you here for this evening.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to be here. Obviously, the moment you said you want to do comms with me, it was like, yeah, of course, it's the dream team, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, you are, but no, it's really good to be here. Thanks to everybody at the GPVWC, obviously, in regards to the apparel partnership which we've got with IMB. So yeah, pleasure to be here for many reasons. But yeah, excited for the race. Canada is an awesome circuit, one of my personal favourites anyway. And no, it's not just because you can corner cut like an absolute something here. But no, great track. You always get some good action here, as there's some happening in the background at the minute. But no, yeah, really excited for this one. Obviously, yeah, not done comms here for a while. Follow it, obviously, when I sort of have time to. So you might have to bring me up to a bit of speed with some of the championship standings and stuff like that, Carter.
Yeah.
But
Well, you're in good
really
hands.
looking forward to it.
You're in good hands, that's one thing for sure. So we're just starting qualifying here. Everyone's just going to start their first laps, and in the warm-up session we will discuss more about the new partnership we have with IMB Racewear in a few minutes' time. In the meantime, we're just going to keep an eye on proceedings, and the first one I'm going to look out for is our championship leader, actually, after the last round at back of Sven de Vries. He was leading the championship by 7 points. Not been the as quick as we thought he might have been in the last couple of rounds, but a consistent point scorer nonetheless. And he's out on circuit at the moment. There's actually a couple of rumours going around saying he won't be here tonight. A couple of people thought that. But he's here this evening, thankfully. And we're just seeing where he's on track actually at this moment in time. Can't quite see him. There he is, P11. For the time being. The first runners come across the line. Actually, Sven de Vries is going slowly around the circuit, waiting for him to set his first lap time. But I can see Martin Hemmingson's going to come across the line. Again, race winner again in Baku. In race 1, he goes official pole position on 20.5 in the slightly updated livery that Neptune Simracing have for this event as well. And Hemmingsson looking really strong here around the track here around Canada. Iain, it's a track you know well yourself. Obviously, you said you quite like it. What sort of challenges would the driver be having here this evening?
It's a weird track because on the face of it, it's very simple. A lot of straights. But I always found personally, whether it's iRacing or whatnot, it makes the importance of the few corners more important than anywhere else. Because you know, getting off the corners is always important. When you've got the kind of straights that you've got here, you've really got to get off the corner well, because you mess that up coming out of, say, the hairpin, you are carrying that loss right the way up the back straight. So it is an easy one, I guess, or an easier one to drive. but it's still incredibly difficult to master, if not slightly more difficult, because of the importance of every apex, every braking zone. But it's always, I find, usually an exciting one to watch. The straights obviously give us a decent amount of overtaking and action, as we just see an almighty crashing qualifying there, involving David Serra, who's currently P9. But yeah, always challenge, always fun. So yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting circuit, and it's actually a circuit as well, which you can actually. Some circuits on the calendar, you just have to try and go for one setup as close as you can, as best you can, and then work with that. But I think around here as well, different setups can actually bring you still very, very close together throughout the field. Some people go low downforce, some people go higher downforce, some people meet in the middle, and you can still deliver fantastic racing as well. So it's almost like a bit of a compromise, no matter what you do with the setup. And sometimes that can bring some strange results as well going forward, which we'll probably catch a little bit tonight in this qualifying session as well. Iain Branton actually has now gone provisional pole position, just about beating Martin Hamilton's time of 1:25.26. And it's very close, actually. It's actually a Royal Blue Academy 1-3 at the moment with Branton and Rozak. Been a very strong partnership this season. And again, their team is getting better and better as the season's been going on. Race winner as well last time out, Tom Parker in race 2 in Baku. He's taking advantage of that rich vein of form he's picked up recently, and he's in P4. And Murray Watson as well, rounding out the top 5 in the first of the Santa Motorsport cars as well. Standing drive for this evening, and it's great to have him back into the championship. Andrew Waring, he's doing a one-off drive here for the GPVWC Academy team. Last seen in GPVWC in the career lab back in 2015 when he took part in Super Cup. Is someone I've known for a long, long time. It's a great character. He's representing Canada as well, and a pleasure to see Andrew back in GPVWC. A real character, a real great personality, and is a lightning quick driver as well. Won races in the past in Formula Challenge back many moons ago.
Just watching Hemmingson, coming out of the hairpin, just touching on what I said earlier, he came out of it sideways. I think that was his warm-up lap. He's now on his quick lap now. But yeah, it's the little mistakes like that really cost you. But interestingly, his teammate just came out the pits. I wondered for a second there whether he's almost lost it coming through sector 2. Whether we're going to try and get the teammate ahead for a bit of slipstream. I don't know how many teams try that here, if it's effective, David.
Not so much. I think concentration levels are quite high around the circuit. A little bit about Baku, actually. And the straight, obviously not as long. I mean, you still gain a little bit down the straight, but I think, there's so much time you can lose in these chicanes, particularly the one underneath the bridge, which Slender Fritos in P5 is coming towards now. Herlock on pole, of course, race winner last year as well. Race 2 taking his first and at the moment only GPVWC win. Daniel Herlock, but he has great memories of this circuit, and he talked to me just before the event here today. He's been really good about himself, being quite confident. Just some people, the thing is, in with this circuit as well, some people get on with the track really well, and some people just can't. And I think Herlock round here just seems to have a really good knack for this circuit. Currently provisional pole, we're sort of expecting lap times actually getting closer to the 19s, actually, but track just might be rubbering a little bit, or people might be struggling with the traffic. It's not the longest circuit here, of course. And Amari Watson.
I was going to say, yep.
P3, Santa Motorsports 1-3 for the time being, with 7 minutes and 13 seconds to go.
As Deegan Fairclough, is it? I hope I pronounced that. Deegan Fairclough, my apologies, just goes pole with a 1:20.418. Just looking at Hemmingson on his outlap, he abandoned the last lap but made a few mistakes. There are a lot of cars on track right now, so track position is going to be hugely important for any of them trying to get these last laps in now. We've still got 6 minutes and 50 left, so there's a bit of time, but yeah, trying to see who isn't out on track.
Iain Branton as well, purple sector 1 as well, and he's going very, very quickly so far. And again, sector 2, green sector 2 there for him, but still currently looking good for P1. Also, as a note for the time being, Thomas Harvey in P5 for Team Gridline. They'll be delighted with that. Had a very good event last time out, did Thomas Harvey. Picked up quite a lot, but I think 19 points he picked up last time out, which is by far his best of the season so far. But coming up the final chicane and staying to the...
pole.
Rozak goes pole. It could be an RB8. 1-2 here as it crosses the line. Yes, it is. Branton goes into P2. So RBA looking very, very strong here today, and probably the strongest they've been all season so far.
It's interesting you say about we're expecting a 19 for pole. We're down to 20.3. So track's definitely getting faster, or people's confidence is coming. Hemmingson now on a lap. Just trying to see his set times at the minute. But yeah, I don't think we'll be far off that 19 for pole.
Of course, Emerson was the race 1 winner last season as well. And I say when you've got a good history, it does seem to make things a little bit easier the next time you come around. Because say he's got 4 pole positions so far this season as well.
Jumps into 7th with a 20.5.
20.5 as well, and important for Madness as well after such a good result in Baku last time out to carry on with that momentum. But Emerson going slightly faster, not quite got that speed for pole position as of yet. We've got the Santa Motorsport car, Murray Watson, chicane as well, just escapes actually as well, so he won't be able to set another lap time without incurring some sort of penalty for the next event. Emerson across the line does not improve, but a man who has improved, Andonovski, his teammate, up to P4. Now this is debut for the team here this evening. Obviously, Neptune have had quite a few drivers in that second seat so far this year. But Andonovski, returned to GPVWC actually. He raced some point a couple of years ago, I believe, and racing here again today, P4. And I know he's had been working very hard behind the scenes with Rodrigo Carvalho as well, and getting up to speed and looking very good here. And so it's ridiculously close at the top of the standings. Like Fairclough and Andonovski have actually set exactly the same lap time as well for P3 and P4, and the top 6 separated by just over a tenth and a bit of a second.
Yeah, very, very close. I mean, obviously, I remember bits of FC from last season, obviously, with your team dominating.
We won't mention that.
But yeah, so it's very familiar. Obviously, a lot of names I recognise, a few new ones. But no, still looks to be. I'm still expecting some really good racing as we had last season. So we've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the session. So it will be now. We're pretty much setting up for the last.
Okay, at the moment, 1 second covering the top 27 cars in this grid route, and in 27th at the moment, another newcomer, Nathan de Stoke. In that 27th position, he's emergency driver for this evening for the 86 e-racing team. Another newcomer as well, actually P11 at the moment, and actually been impressing me quite a lot. Blake Checkett in the Valley Esports. I believe he got a bit of history with that team before, as he just passes a red line car with no front or rear wing, which is, with respect, been a usual sight this season, quite a few times. Tell you what, Roy Ofen at that team, he's been a busy boy making those front and rear wings. For the first 5 rounds of the season. He's got more work to do now. But yeah, Checkett's been a man since he came in practicing, impressing me a lot. So I think he'll be quite strong as the rounds go on. Obviously, his teammate Chris Griswood as well, P21 for the time being. Again, another man who impressed in Baku as well.
What is really impressive is, I know we just said about a second covering the top 20. It's less than 3 tenths from 1st to 13th. I mean, it's incredibly close. The sort of attention to detail and precision that they've got to have here, because the tiniest over rotation of the steering wheel, or perhaps a little bit too hard or soft on the brakes, can be the difference between pole and 17th. It's incredibly close.
And you look at this as well. You got Sven de Vries, P10 at the moment, leading the championship. Got Stephen Lexer, Racing Super Cup earlier this year, P13. Andrew Waring crossing the line, and he goes official pole. Look at that, smashed it. Oh, yeah, we'll come to the smashing somewhere at the moment. But Andrew Waring, provisional pole position on his return. Brilliant stuff. And Patrick Rosak's had an incident, and he's had to escape. And it was an incident with a Neptune car as well. Is that Andonovski? It is an Andonovski. So Andonovski's made a mistake.
Hemmingson was
Andonovski,
on that lap.
Hemmingson as well. Hemmingson got
Yeah, he was
involved.
on a lap and got involved. Doesn't
And
look like he's got damage, so he might be able to go again.
oh,
but
he got hit. He got hit. He's going to have damage. I think he might have took the hit on the halo, actually, of all places. You know, saving him there somewhat. But Andonovski's session and Rozak's session over with 45 seconds to go. Lexo jumps at the P4. Important stuff there for Nova Simracing. He had a torrid time of things in Baku. Don't believe he got any points at all in Baku. And they were second in the championship before the event. Or, no, third place in the championship. They dropped all the way back down to sixth place. So they need a good result here today to regather some of that lost momentum they got from Baku.
So Hemmingson is going for another lap. I was just watching to see whether he pitted there. He's obviously crossed the line with 17, 18 seconds to go. So this is his final chance. So hopefully, or he'll be hoping anyway, that out of turn 4 and 5, he won't find 3 or 4 cars upside down on this run.
But Stephen Lexo is P4 at the moment. He's going fast as well. He is doing purple times. So good here, getting a good amount of straight line speed down the back straight before this final chicane. How's he going to take this? Go on board with him on my view. Takes plenty of curb on the second part of that chicane there. Runs up towards the line. And this is looking good. And he just about takes the pole position provisionally there for Nova Simracing as well. Lexo coming to that team and doing the job that they wanted him to do as well. Pole position there, just nicking it away from Andrew Waring for now. Is anyone else on the quick lap? Let's have a look. Dan Herlock, P8, is actually going to get a nice cheeky slipstream from Rob Rosa ahead of him. And he's up on his own time by quite a bit. He's slightly down on Lexo's time, but he's got a slipstream coming down this back straight. As I say, another car has improved as well. We'll go for that in a minute, but we're going to focus on Herlock for now. P9 going through the chicane. Rosa's ruined his lap with an incident into the wall.
Hemmingson
he's going to be gutted. Hemmingson P9 doesn't. Svender Fries goes up to 6th. Herlock's going to be gutted about that. He's not where he's showing his annoyance there as well, but he is in P10. But crazy session there, Ian. But it's one where we're used to seeing as well. It's great entertainment.
Absolutely, I forgot how exciting it was. Feel like I need a few minutes to reset myself just after qualifying, so the race should be interesting. Yeah, I should have come back a bit sooner, really, shouldn't I? Look what I've been missing out on.
Oh, it's been fantastic, you know. And Canada once again bringing some great entertainment. It's only been qualifying, but Stephen Lexo takes his first pole position, I believe, in his GPVWC career as well for Nova, and that'd be Nova's first pole position as well. From Andrew Waring on his return in P2, and it's an RBA Row 2, Tom Voss P5. We missed that. Great effort from him. Svender Fries in P6. Be happy to some degree because you've got Martin Hemmingson, his championship rival, in P9. One man who'd be very disappointed, Wopke Hoekstra, third in the championship, and he's down in 17th place. So he's got a lot of hard work to do. His probably best chances of reverse grid in race 2, most likely to get some good points there. But fantastic stuff. That has been qualifying. I think it's a good time for the moment. Just have a few minutes break in the warm-up session, and then we'll be back with a couple of bits to announce as well. We'll see you in a few minutes' time.
See you in a few.
Welcome back, everybody. We've just got 6 minutes or so of warm here to take, and in the meantime, I'll just run you through all the standings from after Baku. So, Centre Free's leading the championship on 157 points from Martin Hemmingson, got a 7-point gap there. Bob Hoekstra, who missed the last round in Baku, he's still at third place on 90 points, and he got a great scrap for P4. You got Guillaume Branton on 75, Fernandez on 72. You've got Amari Watson on 71 points. Tom Parker off that race running back, he jumped right up to P7, 68. Then you got Sam Holt in 8th, who's actually signed out the championship now altogether. That's why you got Simon Lexo coming back for Nova. And you got then Dan Hurlock, Patrick Rose, Mike Bell, Tom Voss, Thomas Harvey, Liam Ransom, Max Riker running at the top 15 there. In the team's championship, Neptune Simracing still topping the standings by 30 points from Thunderdog. And then you got HGP on 134, RBA on 131, and after qualifying there in line to get some really good points here today, you might be able to overtake HGP. Santa Motorsports on 128, and then Nova Sim Racing down in 6th position on 120 with a Sombic in 7th on 108 points. Penalties for today, for the people that's actually taking part today, there's only 2 we've got to worry about. We've got Mike Bell, who's got a 10-place grid penalty after an incident with Dan Hutt. I believe, and then Alejandro Enamorado, who's got a back of a grid demotion take as well. So that's the proceedings from there. Now, as we got you here, Ian, we might also talk about the new partnership sponsorship with GPVWC, with IMB Raceware joining the teams here from now on for the next, well, from what we hear, it's a multi-year contract. Obviously, we both got a part to play in IMB.
Yes,
we both have, so bit biased, maybe, but no. In all seriousness, it's great for the league, and I think it's great for the teams, and I think you can explain a little bit more details why of that be.
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting for many reasons. Obviously, GPVWC's a growing community. It's a very tight-knit community, and like I said in the quote that I gave to Will, I really feel like there's benefits here for both sides. Obviously, IMB is a new company. We haven't officially launched yet. You can head to the website, imbRaceware.com, and sign up if you want to keep in the loop. I promise you it's going to be worth it. But no, I really feel like we can grow together. Obviously, GPVWC, I've always said, right from when I sort of first found out about it, when I met you, Carter, actually, at Silverstone, I always felt like it should be a lot bigger than what it is. The time and effort that everybody puts in here, and obviously the detail with the league and the way it's run, it really should be a lot bigger. So hopefully it's something we can grow together. Yeah, really, really exciting. If you don't know what IMB Raceware is, I don't blame you, because up to a couple of months ago, neither did I. But yeah, we're going to be bringing various parts of apparel, fully customizable, very, very high quality, different level to anything that you may be used for before. I've really sort of focused on pushing that up to the max. So it's going to be something different, something exciting. Like I say, head to the website and sign up, and yeah, there will be more on that coming as soon as we can.
Yeah, so we can't release any details as such yet officially, but I think particularly the team bosses that are here, I think that's something to be interested of for sure, because there'd be so much you can order your drivers for yourself if you got particularly larger teams as well. Maybe not just racing GPV, but maybe elsewhere as well. So you can help those guys out as well. And I've seen what range is coming, sort of like the different bits and pieces you can buy. It is really impressive. Obviously, can't announce anything as yet, but exciting times, I think, for IMB. Great to have them on board.
One of the things I think to sort of really put on is in regards to the teams here, the managers here, the drivers here. Obviously, this partnership is a really good thing, but we're also going to try and look after you as well. Don't have, again, final details, but as far as anybody wanting anything, there will be certain deals and discounts that we're going to be offering exclusively here as part of this partnership. So yeah, keep a lookout for that as well.
Yeah, so you can obviously there'll be all the social medias, won't they, Ian, as well,
Of
over
course,
time.
Definitely.
So you could be able to keep an eye on what's going on with IMB Raceware as well from when we launch to and onwards from there. Yeah, you'll be hearing more of that as when needed, more announcements and everything. But for the meantime, we'll focus on obviously Formula Challenge and GPVWC as they're just forming up the grid now officially. But yeah, after last year as well, I mean, also we've seen it in real life as well, Ian, but it can be quite a chaotic first lap here around Canada. And obviously we got a cameraman here, Sandeep Singh, who's took good advantage of an incident last year and cutting the first corner out completely because of a massive pile-up that happened that I got involved with last year, and a few others did. Well, quite a few others did as well. So it could be a bit of a race of attrition. But we'll hopefully it'll be quite respectable. You know, it's going to be tight. It's going to be no social distancing for the first couple of laps, that's for sure. Going to break that, unfortunately, but we'll find out what goes. Obviously, 2 18-lap races here this evening as well. And as I'm sure you know now, it's just all sprint racing. No planned pit stops at least. And looking at weather forecasts, we're supposed to be bone dry all evening, so don't have to worry about any spots of rain like we did in Baku. It will be nice and dry. As now the race director Chris Williamson's just going through with the drivers now what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. Hopefully they're listening.
Find out soon.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah, in a few minutes' time. We'll probably come on the formation lap. And it's Sandy. We'll find out in a few minutes' time. It's now the grid. Well, all the drivers now be heading to the grid once again. And going to be very interesting. Obviously, Andrew Waring here today is the man that we're going to be looking out for here, Ian, because he's going to be a bit of a, I wouldn't say a dark horse, but a bit of an unknown for a lot of these drivers because it's been so long since Waring raced here.
Yeah, he's a dark horse to me because I'm not that familiar with him. Obviously, based on his qualifying performance, there's clearly pace. So it'll be interesting to see you. Obviously, you know a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Certainly when it comes to him. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what his race pace, race craft is like, how he manages the tyres, the stuff like that. But he's in a great position. Front row here is definitely a good place to start, as most places, to be fair.
Yeah.
So who are we looking at? Who perhaps didn't qualify well? Who are you expecting to come through?
I'm expecting Hemmingson to come up quite high from P9 as well. And Watcote is now going to start in 16th place. He's going to be fighting in front of the midfield of the pack. But taking pole position here this evening for race 1 in Canada with Stephen Lexo, German driver. Second race for Nova this season, but the first one since he signed back for the team on a primary basis. Then we got Andrew Waring in P2. Hopefully showing some of those karting skills that he did many years ago. He used to race with Lando Norris in karting and beating him quite on a few occasions as well. Then we got RBA, Row 2, Guillaume Brandt and Patrick Rozak. We get a strong position in the championship there. Tom Voss in P5 is Sender Free starting alongside the championship leader. Deegan Fairclough for his best qualifying position of the season in race 1 at least. He's going to start in P7 with Timotej Andonovski starting in 8th place with his teammate Martin Hemmingson in P9 with Daniel Hurlock and Amari Watson's Linus Stern teammates there in 10th and 11th positions as well. Isaac Morris, P12 for Nova. Tom Parker starting P13 with Thomas Harvey in 14th round at 7th row. Plank Checkett's on his debut here, starting from P15 with Wopke Hoekstra down in P16 round at the 8th row. Paul Lucas Lahn and Liam Ratz round out in row 9. Chris Bristwood and Dan Hutt running at the 10th row. Luca Flask and Danny Robbins will start on P21, P22 with Hermig Tomiassi and Nathan De Stoop rounding out row 12. Garrett De Vries and Filippo Caneo rounding out row 13. Rob Rosa and Matteo Bolko rounding out row 14 as well. Duran Kuzmirchik in P29 with Mike Bell. You've got P2 in Baku after penalties. He'll be starting from 30th with the 10th place grid drop. And then both Asombit cars at the back of the field. David Serra and Alejandro Anamorado at the back of the field. And in their championship position, they've got P7 in the standings. That is not good for them at all. But now we're lining up at the front of the grid, Ian. Nervous times for some of these guys.
Yeah, a lot of cars on the grid. Obviously, it's I suppose it's relatively normal here, but yeah, there's a lot to be aware of, especially mid pack, and I suppose even at the back, you've got a lot of cars ahead, a lot of drivers to judge what they're going to do. So yeah, be interesting to see how many make it through lap one. Hopefully, all of them.
Fingers crossed, as everyone's now just about lined up properly. A few cars struggling getting their positions, actually. Almost a couple of physicality happened there from all those years ago in Malaysia. But the lights now going out. The 5 lights are up. And they go away off the line. And it's a decent start there from Lexo initially. Waring trying to get alongside the German driver as they go into turn 1, as they go into this tight and tricky complex of corners at the start, and everyone looking fairly clean so far, which is good to see. Out of turns 1 and 2, going down into this first chicane, turns 3 and 4 for the first time at speed. So it's Lexo from Waring, from Branton. Not too much change there. It looks like there's a car off. It's one of the Valley Sports cars. Is that Checkits? Yes, it is.
Together. Yeah.
And
another crash.
And there's another car behind off as well. But a disaster for those guys. That was a gridline car involved as well. But Lexo in the lead as they go into turns into sector 2 for the first time.
Yes, it was Blake Checkett, Rob Rosa, and Matteo Bolko that have got caught up there. I'm just looking. Blake has got no front wing. Rob Rosso has neither. And Matteo Bolko he looks relatively unscathed actually, so he's quite lucky. But just having a look at the ones that we said we keep an eye on, Hemmingson is up to P7 at the minute.
And I think his teammates, there we go. There's a team order straight away. Hemmingson given the first class ticket up to 6th place. There's the promotion there as they go through the first chicane and completing the first lap here. And say Lexo leads. Obviously no DRS yet, but it looks like Waring and Brampton is going to be keeping Lexo very, very honest in these early stages. Behind them,
between Liam Rance and I can't see who the other one was, but Liam Rance is facing backwards at the Wall of Champions at the minute.
There's a couple of cars off it, and they're at the back of the circuit. I think that's it's Kuzmishik, isn't it? And I think I think Liam Rance was the car involved at the start as well. So a disaster for him. And we've got David Serra missing a front wing as well, and he looks like he's going to be parking it up in this first race, and he has retired as well. But nice and tight still at the front of the field. And we've got De Vries that's made up a place from the start. He's up to P5. Hemmingson, though, right in his tail, and we've seen the battling at Turkey. We've seen the battling at Baku get up close and personal at times. Might be round 3 here today in that battle.
Hemmingson was very close through that chicane then. Looks like he actually had to back off a little bit to save running in the back of him. But it should be an interesting battle between these two coming up any time. And Rozak as well isn't that far down the road from Sven De Vries either. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Hemmingson can get through, how these others hold on. I'm just looking a bit further back. We've got a few side-by-sides as we come up towards the final chicane. Keep an eye there, make sure that nobody's going to crash.
There we go, as they all go for, I think what Bertrude's making his way up through the field as well. Wow, he's up to 15th. He's made it 1 position. He's now right behind gridline car of Thomas Harvey. Harvey defending into the first corner nicely as well. Everyone seems to be quite respectable so far. A bit of side-by-side action, a couple of incidents here and there, but nothing too dramatic as well. Really good, close racing, particularly at the front of the field. As looks like the front 3 are just starting to break away a little bit from Patrick Rosak as well. But I think it's going to be very, very tasty for all these positions, even going to the very back of the field when we're looking between sort of positions 10 and 15 as well, when reverse grid would happen there for race 2. And some of those guys could get pole position, of course, but it's going to be very, very tasty in these opening laps. So DRS is also active this time round as well. So going down the back straight for the first time. I don't think DRS can be that effective, or as effective as been some other circuits in recent times. But I think Hemmingson in P6 is getting a bit closer to the back of Sven De Vries down here. So they go into the chicane one more time to round up the third lap here of race 1.
Emerson has got a good run out of that final chicane on centre freeze as he steps out to the inside for turn 1. No contact. Everybody leaving, well, Freeze and Emerson leaving room for each other. They're still side by side now as they head up to turn 3. A little touch on tyres there, but nothing too aggressive as Emerson backs back into it. I think that little touch was a warning, and I don't think he wants to end his race just yet.
There's an incident further back as well. Tom Parker's had an incident. He's had a spin at the final chicane, and a gridline car, I think of Thomas Harvey, has collected him. So Parker making yet another mistake here in a race 1 as well, like he's done a few times this season already. And racking up these incident points as well. He has not helped himself of getting points here today. He's going to make a trip to the pits, as well as Thomas Harvey as well. But the lead is going through the hairpin once again. This is the 4th lap.
Around the outside of
and side
De
by
Vries
side.
there.
Yeah, he's going around the outside.
Made it work. Yes, he has made it work. It's really impressive to get around the outside in the hairpin here. I think he'll have the DRS as well. Yes, he does. So he was behind at the protection points. He switches to the inside to try and put Sven off, trying to have a dive. But can he hold the move into the chicane? Car placement was very, very important and very good there. So that's Hemmingson up to P5 on centre B. So Patrick Rozak is his next target. As I say that, maybe not, because centre piece is up the inside into turn 1. Are they going to leave each other room? Just about.
Keeping it clean there as Andonovski's trying to get involved as well. But that's a statement from Martin Hemmingson there. He said, I'm not messing about. You might be in the lead of this championship, Sven. But I'm not battling. Oh, Andonovski's jumped the chicane there as well. Just gets away with it as well. Very easy to plant it into the wall at the exit there, but he gets away with it there. But Andonovski keeping tabs with these 2 championship contenders as well. Deegan Fairclough, Dan Hurlock and Amari Watson also trying to keep up with this battle as well, just behind them. At the front of the field, Waring takes the lead. Waring is in the lead of this race. We've caught that off camera, unfortunately. But Waring in the lead of this race here on lap 5.
So it's going to be interesting now as Hemmingson and De Vries come into the hairpin. Obviously this time around, De Vries is going to have the DRS. He doesn't look that close. I don't know whether he's got the pace at this point of the race to hold on to the back. Like you say, the DRS isn't massively powerful here. But P2 is Lexo, and he's just being overtaken. A really nice textbook.
Oh, in the wall. Oh,
it's a
contact.
crash.
Yeah, contact as Branton hit the wall, going over chicane. Lexo had nowhere to go but into the back of his car. But look at Rozak. He's going to take both of them. Rozak up into P2 because of that incident there. What damage is going to be on both of those cars? I'll say Lexo's still got his front wing, but there could be some big damage, particularly on Branton's car as well after that. And yellow flag as well. Someone has had an incident somewhere. I think it's one of the back markers. There's a yellow flag. What's going on here? No, I think they've
car parked off the track. I'm just trying to see who it is now.
Back markers are getting in the way.
Indeed, sorry, Thomas Harvey has started the race on the wet tyre.
Let's see that. Yeah, Tom Harvey is on the wet tyre, pitted for damage, and 26th place Thomas Harvey, and
maybe he knows something we don't.
maybe he's going to jump in the lake next to it. That's the plan. He's trying to get in the wet. As Blake Checketts has lost his front wing, as he can make another trip to the pits. It's been a disastrous event for him. God, can't help but laugh at that, can you? Let's face it.
He's got the right tyres on now. He's got them on now. It's okay. Everything's fine. He's back on the dry compound.
But Andrew Waring is checking out at the front of the field, as I think Andonovski's kicked a bit of dirt there at the final chicane, but more importantly, Waring's checking out at the front. He's more than a second clear of Patrick Rozak now, so Waring's going to try and get on that, well, I wouldn't say a flight home, he's very nearby this circuit, but he might be getting the taxi going from here. He says, see you later guys, I'm out of here, for now, see you race 2, but again, championship scrap behind Hemmingson, De Vries, and Andonovski, Fairclough 8th, Hurlock 9th, Watson in 10th, Tom Voss 11th, Isaac Morris still in 12th. That's where he started. Danny Robbins is up to 13th place. Points in line here for Ricky Monsters. Also Dan Hutt near the back of the grid in 14th. August Lamb 15th. Luca Class 16th. Mike Bell from P30 on the grid. He's up to 17th. Nathan De Stope on his debut 18th. Neo 19th, and Tomiyasu running at the top 20. But the front of the grid here, from second back here in, still very compact. DRS obviously helping the guys behind keep up, but it's a long race with sim mistakes already happened here today, and we're only on the 7th lap.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really impressed by Mike Bell, actually, from the back of the grid. I know there's obviously been a few incidents and a few bits there. But yeah, that smile power's definitely working, isn't it?
Definitely is. And
Martin Henderson tucked up behind Guy and Brenton going into turn 1. Is he going to have a look? Yes, well, sort of feigned a look there. He did actually force Guy on. Yeah, Brenton may still have suspension or rear end damage from that hit earlier on in the race, but Hemmingson absolutely nose to tail with him as
he's a spin.
He's lost it. He's lost it.
Front one gone on Guillaume Branson's car. Oh, don't rejoin like that. Oh, goodness me. That's the trip to the pit. So
yeah,
his event is going to be
hope he doesn't
ruined by
that.
Yeah. Don't put on the wet for goodness sake. But he's going to rejoin the circuit. Is he keeping okay? There we go. So P14, there he is. But he's going to have to take a trip to the pits. No doubt about that. Of course, that means all the guys behind make a position. So Hemmington's through, De Vries is through, and the Nostic's up to 6th, Fairclough 7th. Herlock and Amari Watson 8th and 9th, and they got Tom Voss now ran it at the top 10. I was just saying, easy to make a mistake, and I've been proved again. Commentator's curse once again. Now Waring is just past the back marker there of Liam Rant. But Sven's got look at this down the back straight. Got Sven De Vries. Looking at the lining up, Martin Hemmingson can't do it that time, and Hemmingson gets a good run out of the chicane as well.
Yeah, I think with the failed move, it kind of put him offline a bit, but he's piling the pressure on. To be honest, I thought when Hemmingson got past, he was just going to disappear up the road. He seemed to have, I don't know, a lot better pace. But yeah, Sven De Vries hanging on and doing really well. So these two have had a pretty good start, haven't they? They've had people dropping out and find themselves in 4th and 5th. So yeah, Lexo is just ahead by just over a second at the minute. As you say, Waring is just in his own race at the minute, isn't he?
He is. He's checking out at 1.7 seconds. It was just a second ago for Patrick Rose, and he's got the back marker as well to keep that distance as well for the time being of Liam Rant. But yeah, Waring doing a great job on his return as well. He's raced off at Super 4, but he's not done anything really in the last, seriously in the last sort of 3-4 years. So brilliant to see him on pace and competitive once again. But Rosette now will have DRS on the back of Liam Rant, so that gap might close down a little bit. But everyone's spacing out a little bit now at the front of the field. You've got Deacon Fairclough closing up to the back of P6 as well. But P12 for the time being as well. Good little trap here. Danny Robbins and Dan Hutt as well. Two guys who'd be in much need for some good points here this afternoon. They've had pretty rough season so far. Dan Hutt looking around the outside of Danny Robbins. It's going to be contact. And Robbins touches the ball there. But look out for August Lahn as well. Is he going to take advantage? Yes, he is. He's already passed the rookie Monsters car up into 13th place in Madness Racing. But Dan Hutt was obviously running very well in Baku until his incident at the Castle section last time out. He's going to look to make amends for that incident and try and make up some of his points here this evening.
Hemmingson is just slightly starting to edge the gap to Lexo, but just as I say that, he's got a back marker, which has got out of the way. He was just starting to pull away a little bit from centre freeze, and the gap was coming down, but I think the back marker just put him off slightly, potentially, because Sten is right on the back of him again. So with the DRS, again, maybe an opportunity might be worth watching here for a second to see whether De Vries can do anything with Hemmingson now.
Maybe from not that far back, he's about 3/10 behind. He'll be able to close up and maybe his aim will be to get a good run out of this chicane again. Oh, lag spike behind. That's Santon car upside down. Is that Herlock? He's had lag spikes before. I think that's a lag spike incident, and he's taken out. It's Fairclough. Fairclough's had the lag spike again, and Herlock has been the victim of that. And that's the second event in a row now that Fairclough's had a lag spike, which taken out another car as well. So unfortunate stuff there, particularly for Dan Herlock, but Fairclough's in the pits as a result. Where's Herlock in the result of this? He is somewhere on the circuit. There he is in 10th position. He's still got his front wing on that car somehow. But he'll be really, really annoyed at that. Obviously, he had the instant qualifying that ruined his lap. Now he's had this incident as well. It's going to be a bit frustrating, but the good news is for him, he's still in that 10th position. Good chance of reverse grid pole, and he's got a good gap behind him as well. So he's just going to hope for some good points here, and then hope for race 2 as well. We might be able to close up to the back of this battle, but just ahead actually, Isaac Morris and Tom Voss scrapping away for P8. I mean, GP racing Nova Simracing, of course. And got the back marker as well for answers. Morris looking down the inside into the hairpin. That's a solid move there from the Welshman.
What, Tom Voss was very, very generous there. I think the moment he saw him coming, he took the wider line, but that's going to give him a very nice exit. As you can see, he's pulling out now before he's even got the DRS. So, no, he didn't get the DRS. Of course he didn't, because of the detection zone. So, yeah, very nice move by Isaac Morris.
Also, don't shoot the messenger, but I've just noticed that Tom Voss is in Wopke Hoekstra's car as well. So that could be potentially seen by the stewards after this event as well, but being in the wrong car. But I didn't say that, of course. But yeah, Morris up into that 8th position.
Morris very wide in turn
well.
1. That's going to have Voss to close right back up on the back of him. Genuinely thought he wasn't going to make the corner then, but he just managed to hold on.
Did. Yeah, Morris hold on there. Looking a bit further back, we've got Hutt, Auguslan, Robbins, Mike Bell in 14th now for starting P30, and Luca Flas now looking to get points for the time being in that P15. Back to the front now, and Andrew Waring still holding out his lead, 1.5 second gap to Patrick Roszak, with now Lexo, Hemmingson, and De Vries battling away once again, like they did a little bit in Bahrain as well. Lexo holding up, or holding on to his third place for now. Antonuski in P6, Watson, Morris, Voss, and then Herlock. So a couple of tasty battles lie here as we're just about to approach 2/3 race distance here in this first race.
So, what do you see as potential changes then, Mr. Carter? Do you see Hemmingson moving forward anymore?
I see Hemmingson giving Lexo a bit of a sweat in these next 6 laps or so. I'll say Hemmingson has been, race 1 wise, has been the man this year, no question about it. He's had a couple of incidents that have dropped him some points over the, in Turkey and in Baku. So arguably, you could say should be top of the championship, arguably, if he didn't have those incidents. But he's in that situation. Sven de Vries now, of course, no slouch. And he's looking to give Hemmingson a bit of a workover here in this race 1, if he starts battling with Stephen Lexo. So yeah, interesting scenes here as Sven de Vries trying to now line up potentially not a run into this hairpin, he's too far back, but maybe a run down the back straight of DRS into the braking zone for the last chicane, or into turn 1 potentially as well. Let's see how they get round here. Hemmingson gets out that corner quite nicely though, to be fair, and of course he'll have DRS on the German car or the German driver ahead of him as well. So yeah, it's all going to be a patient game, but Waring's the man in control. He's just past Kazmierczyk, who's back marker, and he's the one controlling the pace.
Tell you what, I think Tom Voss might be on for a run against Isaac Morris for P8 here. I've just been watching them as they go through, nothing happening here. But Mike Bell is looking like he's going to have a look at Danny Robbins. He's got the move done. I'm assuming DRS assisted, so it's Mike Bell up to P13 now. And Danny Robbins might be having to watch out for Luca Flask as well. Has he got the move done on him? Yes, so Danny Robbins, in the space of 1 chicane, unfortunately going from 13th to 15th, sorry. But as I say, Mike Bell and Luca Flask getting the job done there.
Looking at Danny Robbins down that back straight, I know Mike Bauer had DRS and everything, but it looked like Danny Robbins just kept carrying a sea anchor in that car. It's going so slowly in a straight line, so he's obviously up the downforce for this event. But we'll have to look at. But Hemmingson has moved past Lexo. Lexo has made a mistake. Lexo's made a mistake somewhere, and I'm just going to rewind a little bit just to see where that was. But let's have a look here. It's interesting stuff. Yeah, he's lost the position where Sebastian Vettel got that penalty from Lewis Hamilton in a couple of years ago.
Unsafe rejoin.
Hemmingson is closing up as well to Patrick Roszak for P2. Hemmingson's taking full advantage here of one mistake And now he's looking to get more points. And another car between himself and Sven de Vries into turn 1 once again. Can't do nothing on this occasion. But Sven de Vries now, he doesn't have to make any moves, but he just wants to keep Martin honest and put the pressure on him and see if Martin's going to make the mistake.
Well, he's got Lexo on his gearbox straight away after that mistake, so it'll be interesting to see if Lexo can start to get that position back or move forward at all. But Sven de Vries, we saw with Hemmingson, pretty good at defending, so he'll be happy to put up a fight if he does try.
I'll say not so long to go now. You've got, what, 3.5 laps to go. Waring's still out in front. He could write postcard and Stevie out front. He's that far ahead. You know, need 2.5 seconds there. But Hemmingson's gone a little bit wide out of that chicane. And de Vries has got a little bit of a run into the hairpin. Sven de Vries is nosing. He's peeking. He's having a little sneaky nose into Hemmingson's mirror there. But can't capitalise, a bit too far back. I'm not sure if de Vries is going to have a little run here or have a little look into the final chicane.
Hemmingson got DRS from Rozak still, so it's not going to be as easy. But he has a little look out.
Look behind as well. You got oh yeah, so getting out of the way of Andonovski and Watson. This is a great scrap as well. And Watson's done well actually from where he started on the grid. I think he started about P12, so or P11 on the grid. So he's done well to get to P7 in this race. You know, more solid points there from Amari Watson after his maiden podium last time out in Baku. I'd say it's getting a bit close now. Rozak, I think, struggling a little bit with the tyres. A little bit, I think. Hemmingson, de Vries, Lexa, they're all getting closer now to the back of the Polish driver ahead. And Rozak's going to be putting on a bit of a sweat now in these last 2.5 laps or so.
I think if Hemmingson can get this next chicane and the hairpin right, he'll have a damn good chance on the back straight on Rozak. But we've seen him make a couple of mistakes here and there. Which has allowed obviously de Vries to really have an opportunity. But just watching him coming into the chicane now, is he going to keep it nice and tidy? He needs to get a good exit off of there. It's not been too bad, but Rozak looks like he's had an absolutely phenomenal exit, to be honest. But DRS will pop open now. There we go. And is it going to be enough? The gap between them is about 5 tenths, so yeah, it's going to have to be one hell of a closing speed to get that one to pay off. No,
he's starting him up though. He's starting up. He gets a good run out of here. He might be in for a chance. And Rozak gets a bit of oversteer, but power oversteer on the exit. Hemmingson. And so Rozak takes the defensive line very early on. De Vries is capable of watching briefly this as well. To go side by side into the first part of that. Hemmingson very late on the brakes. Can't do it. Contact with Rozak as well. And he tries to get alongside the Polish driver. But can't do it. No. Rozak just about gets the drive out of the complex. Turns 1 and 2, and Rozak holds on, but for now, how long can he do it for?
I was going to say, Rozak's putting his car in all the right places right now. Hemmingson trying to sort of dive left and right to see if there's any opportunity, but Rozak doing a fantastic job of keeping him behind. How long for? The DRS is open now, not usually expecting to see an overtake here going into the quick chicane. But will he have a look into the hairpin? How's the exit? Oh, as Rozak just taps the wall. So is Hemmingson going to have a look into the hairpin? He's closing and closing, but I suppose it makes more sense to try and get a nice exit off here. Yeah, he's got a much better angle through the hairpin, so this could be the opportunity that Hemmingson's been looking for. He needs to get on with it because de Vries is as close to him as what he is to Rozak, so this could get a bit spicy in a second as he pulls out to the racing line. He's up to P2. How is he on the brakes? How brave is he?
Oh, done it.
Nice
Brilliant,
move.
nice stuff.
Nice move.
Nice stuff from the Danish driver. And Sven de Vries is looking to do exactly the same thing on Rozak now as they go into the final lap. And de Vries is ahead as they cross the start-finish line. Is de Vries going to make the move?
Can he hang it around
He's
the
plenty of room. He can. Oh, bit of contact. Lexo, look at that. Sliding up like a greased piglet on the inside. Can't quite do it. Rozak holds on to P4. Behind them, you've got a good scrap of between Andonovski and Amari Watson. But obviously, this four-car battle, Hamilton's checked out. He's not hanging around with those guys. This battle for P4 in particular now, between Rozak and Lexo. Oh, Rozak spun! Rozak spun and the rejoin. Yeah, just about gets away, but he's going to lose another position. Good contact there with Andonovski. Andonovski gets through though. Rozak down to 6, and both RBA drivers making mistakes in this first race.
Incredible scenes as Amari Watson now is, yeah, he's going to make, I think, Rozak's day a bit worse. Rozak, like you say, tyres must have just gone because he is struggling to lose the back end where he did. Obviously, a lot of pressure from what seems to him probably most of the grid behind him. But yeah, he's not happy on those tyres at the minute. Just trying to see if Amari Watson can get a good enough run to do anything about it.
But at the front of the field, give him his due. After so long away from GPVWC, Andrew Waring comes across. I didn't think I'd be saying this year. Andrew Waring comes across the line to win race 1 here at his home circuit in Canada. Absolutely brilliant job. And I'm proud of you, buddy. That is a brilliant, brilliant race 1 today. You know, he said to me, "Oh, I'm not sure." You know, he's always had quick pace. But yeah, fantastic job from Andrew Waring here today and getting the job done. You know, pretty much lights the flag almost there for him. Second place, Martin Hemmington. Third place, Sven de Vries. Fourth, Stephen Lexo. Fifth for Andonovsky. Sixth for Patrick Rozak. Seventh for Mario Watson. Eighth, Isaac Morris. Some much needed points for him. He hasn't really had a good time of things. So good stuff with 9th, Dan Herlock, 10th, Tom Voss, Paul Augustin around at 11th, Dan Hutton 12th, Mike Bow up 17 places up to 13th place,
Smile,
Luca
pal.
Flask 14th, Danny Robbins in 15th position as well, getting a point for Rookie Monsters. Nathan De Stope almost getting a point, but not quite there in 16th place. Filippo Canero 17th, Tomiassi 18th, Chris Griswood 19th, and Morado 20th. Garrett De Vries 21st. Deacon Fairclough 22nd, unfortunate stuff there for him. But his lag spike there, causing it between himself and Dan Herlock. So Bolker 23rd, Gil Brampton 24th, Smirsic 25th, Thomas Harvey down in 26th. Wet tyre strategy not doing him any favours.
No, I thought
Liam
that one
Rats.
might have played out actually, but no. Surprisingly, it didn't work for him.
His teammate Liam Rance also getting 8 points at 27th. Blake Checkett's 28th. Tom Parker retiring with suspension damage. Wopke Hoekstra also retiring as well. Rob Rosa and David Serra rounding out the non-finishers there as well. But fantastic stuff in that race 1. Drama as always, but likewise great racing at the front of the field.
Yep. Again, I'm happy to be back when it's like this. It's I wondered whether qualifying was going to be the peak of the excitement because it was pretty manic. But yeah, some incredible driving, some crazy action, and even a bit of wet weather tyre running. So it really did have it all. Race 2's got a lot to live up to now.
So I think it's a good time for us to take a couple of minutes break and recover a little bit from that, have a strong drink, and we'll see you in a few moments' time.
See you in a few.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you're all refreshed for this race too. Obviously, got about 3 minutes left to go here. Just let you guys know, Dan Hutt is the man who's going to take reverse grid pole here this evening. Number 12 was the number that got pulled out. So yeah, Dan Hutt will take pole position here at Canada. Actually, while we're here, if you've got any questions about GPVWC, what more information about maybe this series or other series, or even about IMB actually as well, while we're here, if you've got any questions at all, just throw it in the chat. And while we're not having any racing going on, we'll answer any questions that you may have in the next sort of couple of minutes or so. And because obviously sometimes new viewers are watching this, they think, oh, it's good, but what about this, that, and the other? Throw it in. We've got all the time.
I've got a question actually.
Yes.
What's the strategy call behind putting wets on?
Well, I'd sack the engineer, whoever that was. That's one thing for sure. Maybe it's the Ferrari strat.
Bit harsh.
Yeah, I know that stabbed you through the heart a little bit there, saying that, but yeah, that was interesting, to say the least. They could have used the wets last week at Baku, or 2 weeks ago at Baku. They could have done, but not here. But they're just setting up the grid for race 2 right now. So Dan Hutt on pole position with Paul Augustin alongside then Tom Voss and Dan Herlock. Last year's race 2 winner Dan Herlock will be on the second row as well. As I say, a little bit of a debate in the YouTube chat. Just behave.
Yeah,
behave yourselves a bit, guys. Just hear me
just trying to think if I've got any dirty laundry I'd like to wear out in public.
We know you got a bit lying around somewhere.
Oh, I've got buckets of it, mate. Yeah, no, the stream isn't long enough.
Begins with A, doesn't it? But yeah.
You say nothing.
30 odd seconds to still start this end warm up and then start the formation lap. And again, another dry session on its way. Obviously, after this event, we've got the Super Cup, Super League Lights, and Super League next week as well. And they've just announced their newest round of the Academy Series, which will be at Aragon in Spain. And you can go onto the GPVWC website to sign up. Again, any questions about that, feel free to ask in the Discord chat. How to sign up, how to get the mods installed, etc., etc. And you'll see all the information in the description below of this video as well.
And if all of that fails, just contact David Carter on Discord. Everybody else does.
No, Menno, he's the Tinder at the end of the day. Oh, no,
Menno, that's right.
Yeah, sorry, he's GPVWC's Tinder at the end of the day. So he's your man. He's always around to give you any advice, help, if necessary as well. But looking interesting for this race too. Obviously, reverse grids always do, and they'll always bring up some great action. So now we're going to get on for this second race. Everyone now started to line up on the grid. Normally ask the co-commentator, what's the prediction? But I think the safe bet for this one, Ian, is chaos.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be keeping an eye on Andrew Waring now after his performance in race 1. Like you say, backed up by the fact that he hasn't been here for a while. Be good to see how he comes through the field. Obviously dealing with other cars, which isn't something he really had to deal with in race 1, let's be honest.
No,
yeah, I don't think I've been around enough to really... Who are you going to predict for a top 3 then?
I'm looking at Tom Voss, and I'm looking at Herlock. Because Herlock, had some bad luck in race 1 as well. Morris has been looking very good in testing. Watson as well, expect him to come through the field nicely. But also, you also got to look at the usual protagonists. You got to look at Lexa, you got to look at the three Samuelson. Them 3 coming through the field as well. And then maybe from the back of the grid, you got the likes of Watcoaster as well, starting from P30 as well. But let's run you through the whole grid here for race 2 here at Canada. It's going to be Dan Hutt for Friesland here, taking pole position here with Paul Augustin. Again, looking to capitalise on another good grid position, both of those guys from Baku. Tom Voss and Dan Hurlock will be rounding out the second row here today. Isaac Morris and Amari Watson rounding out row 3. Patrick Rozak will be in 7th position with Andonovsky in 8th place. Stephen Lexo and Sven de Vries rounding out the 5th row. See de Vries still just about keeping his championship lead after that first race. I believe the gap now provisionally is at 3 points after that first race. With Martin Hemmingson now starting 6th row in 11th position with Andrew Waring, race 1 winner in his home event, will be in 12th place as well. Then you got Mike Bow in P13 with Luca Flask P14, Danny Robbins P15, and then Nathan De Stope in 16. 9th row, you got Filippo Caneo and Gabriel Rohirlemi Tomiassi. Chris Griswood and Alejandro Enamorado rounding out the 10th row as well. Gerrit de Vries, Deacon Fairclough from P21 P22. Matteo Balco P23 and Guillaume Branton, look out for him. He'll be from P24 in the second of the RBA cars. Duran Kuzmishik P25, Thomas Harvey in P26. Liam Ranson, second of the gridline cars, P27. Blake Checkett in P28. Another man to look out for, actually, Tom Parker, P29. Obviously, race 2 winner last time out. Walk Extra looking to get some luck for once in P30. Rob Rosa, P31. And then David Serra, once again starting from the back of the grid after his incident in the first race as well. And the guys are just lining up once again. Everyone just getting their tyres nice and hot, brakes nice and hot before they line up on the grid. And we had a chaotic race 2 here last year. I believe there was an incident involving, well, myself actually. I was involved in the incident right at the start of the race last year at turn 1. Caused quite a lot of cars to go off. But Ian, you know, if something like that happens, I'd run because it can really kick off.
Yeah. Just watching Tom Voss actually didn't line up very well. He had to quickly shove it in reverse. So nicely done.
There we go. But he's managed to line up all right, as the others, as the 5 lights going out once again here for round 12 of the championship. And we're away, and it looks like a good start from Paul Augustin. He's going to be obviously on the outside for turn 1. Dan Hutt. Oh, it looks like Augustin's going to hold it around the outside. This time, and he takes the lead, going out of turn 2. Great start. Clean start as well, once again, in the first couple of corners. Got a Nova car on the grass in the exit turn 2. But Augustin leads. Contact there. Hurlock's up to P2. Hurlock, yeah. Oh, contact into the wall as well. Is that Tom Voss in the wall? Another car off. Another car right off the circuit. Is that Sven de Vries in the wall? In the wall there on the exit of turn 4. Gets away from it down to P12 though, with Lexo now all over the back. This car sideways there. It's Waring going sideways. Great start from Henderson as well. He's up to 9th already. Bit of a chaotic start, but everyone seems to have got away with it pretty much.
Yeah, relatively well behaved so far.
Just about all car running off there. So Ricky Moss's car running off the circuit. Is that Danny Robbins? Yes, it is.
Moving up again. He's up to P8. Is he going to take another one? P7. Can he get round the outside of Watson? Get the exit.
Oh, bit of contact there. Waring trying to go around the outside. But De Vries is up to 10th. But Waring's lost a couple of places there to De Vries and maybe Mike Bell as well. Them two racing for the first time in many a long year, Bell and Waring. But up front, Paul Augustin's got on the plane home. He says, see you later. I've had enough. Go away. Madness Racing leading here. Hurlock up to 2nd place. Great start for me. He's looking to replicate last year. Of course, Dan Hutt in 3rd, losing the lead from the start. Boss. Then you got Isaac Morris up to 5th as well. Great start from him. Rozak, Hemmingson, Watson, Andonovsky into 3 round at the top 10. And you've got behind him Mike Bell, Waring, Lexo there. We've got Danny Robbins and Branton as I've seen his car. Oh, Waring's on the grass. He's in the wall. He's in the wall. He's lost his front wing. Losing it out of turn 2. And all those heroics from race 1. Wow, he can forget all about that now. He is in the wall and he's going to take the pits. Yeah, it's bad luck. He's just got on the power a bit too much. I think he's turned traction control off. Because obviously you can run low TCs on his car. And spinning up the rear wheels quite a lot. And he's in the pits as well as Deacon Fairclough. He's up to going for front wing as well. Back at the front though, Paul Augustin leading by about 7/10 from Hurlock. Dan Hutt being pulled along as well. These front three trying to check out from the rest of the field. You got Voss. Behind them, you got the RBA racing car.
Side of Morris
Good
for
move.
P5 into the hairpin there. So can Hemmingson capitalise on Morris having to take a slightly different line, or not an ideal line that he'd have wanted? As Hemmingson pegged on the back, Rozak going defensive with not quite 3 wide, but here goes Hemmingson on the inside of Morris. Can he hold it?
Oh, bit of
Contact between
Morris.
the two,
Oh,
and
Morris
he's
has
gone
lost
round.
it. Oh,
No,
good
he's
catch.
held it. Just held it.
Very good catch there from Morris there, but he's going to lose places. He's down to 10th. But there we go. So we've got Watson gone past Andowski, gone past Sven de Vries, trying to pass Andowski now into turn 1 and 2. Can't make it. Morris slots into 10th. Everyone else seems to be getting around pretty cleanly in these opening laps. Obviously now Warrington in the pits. He's going to be gutted about that, but he should be proud of himself nonetheless. But back up front, Augustin leads, or just starting the 3rd lap here. Now DRS is going to be activated now for these guys, with Herlock looking to close in the gap between himself and he's staying. Oh,
there's been a lag.
Herlock.
There's lag. There's Dan Hart out.
Hurts off the circuit, and Herlock's given what he received in race race 1 there. But he's actually got away with it. He's got away with it this time, like he did in the first race to a degree. He didn't barrel roll this time, but Hut's completely off the circuit. And again, Herlock, it's not the first time he's had a lag spike this year. He's had a few.
Hemmington's on the move again. He has got a very decent run on Rozak, who's got DRS and Tom Voss just ahead. But I don't think anything's going to happen into the chicane. No, we're going up the pitch straight. Hemmington's usually pretty good at getting the exit off there. So can he capitalise on this as they head up to turn 1 and 2? Doesn't look like it. So Rozak had a really nice exit through the chicane. He runs wide on somebody off. Is it? August Lan
from the lead.
Has had a big spin.
August Lan from the lead.
Spin.
Yeah, he's lost the lead after that spin. Easy mistake to make.
7.
Oh, and he's locked up. He's nearly hit the back
again.
of de Vries'
car.
Spin? Yes, he has. In the wall. Paul Augustin has lost control of the car, maybe lost control of his temperament as well.
Oh, and there's a lot of cars coming in behind, about 4 wide.
Look at this lot. Oh, and the Rayford Parker, his teammate. Can't do it. But he's got gridline cars. Madness car, spin there, a Summit car around. And Morado. Oh, and contact there as well. Tomiyasu, Hoekstra.
Front wings going everywhere.
Hoekstra's parked it. He's had enough. He's retired from the race. Left the event. Serra's off the circuit. Hoekstra's out.
Oh, we got another one off.
Start.
That's Thomas Harvey off in the next chicane. He's going to drop back down to about P22, I think.
And it all started from Paul Augustin losing the lead as well.
Tom Parker having a little battle with Volko there. Volko went for a mega send it. Unfortunately, ran wide and Parker slipped back up the inside and said thank you very much.
Back up front.
Feisty
back up front. Rozak's through. He's up into 2nd place. Voss and Hemmingson battling for 3rd, the last podium position. But Herlock leads, of course.
Hemmingson up the inside. Hemmingson into P3 on Tom Voss, just as he said that.
He'd done it as well. And he got de Vries and Watson racing behind him as well for P5 and P6. This is madness. Absolute madness.
It's insanity, isn't it?
Great action, nonetheless. But Herlock leads. Rozak 2nd. Hemmingson 3rd. Tom Voss in 4th position. Obviously, Herlock leading, but he could be receiving a penalty if it gets reported that he's Dan Hut as well. We'll have to find out what happens after the event.
Reeling him in corner by corner. You can see the difference in the confidence there. I think Rozak will be leading this race within a lap or so. He just through the chicanes, he's so much more confident chucking the car in, almost like pinging it off of every curb. Obviously, I think he's going to get DRS here comfortably. He's only 5 tenths behind, so Daniel Herlock's going to have a lot to deal with in the space of about a lap or so.
We've got 6 retirements so far, but we think that Herlock might have a bit of damage, of course, after Hut's unintentionally hit him, so he might be struggling a bit of straight line speed and maybe a bit of corner performance as well, of course. But he survives this time around. We're ending the 5th lap.
Almost lost it coming out the chicane there.
He did. Just got a little bit squirrely there, but squirrely. But making up English as we go along here. But yeah, he gets out the corner just about fine, is what we should say. Emerson, P3, Vosky 4th, Vries in 5th, Watson still 6th, and Vosky 7th. Morris, as I hear contact at the background. Is that from the chicane? Yes, it is. That's at the back of the field. It's Bolko. Blake Checkett's involved with another incident once again. He's had a torrid time this event after a promising qualifying. But he'll come back. First event. He'll hopefully not be too disheartened by his event so far. But Herlock's still out in front, time being.
Rozak really needs to get this move done as quick as he can because he knows what Emerson's like.
Ooh,
And the
Voss
last
makes a
thing he's
mistake.
going to need is for this to take too long because Emerson's getting closer and closer.
3-car battle now as Voss has made a mistake behind. And De Vries is going to be closing in on his Dutch counterpart ahead of him. But back up front, it looks like Herlock is going to be in a lot of pressure now as we're entering 1/3 distance in this second race. All behind them as well. Voss is
behind,
getting
yeah.
defensive. Voss is getting defensive. De Vries is fast. I think Voss let him through there. I think that was a come on through, Sven. You know, you can take these guys on. I'm going to help you through into the chicane. Now Voss is still closely behind Sven De Vries, though.
I suppose in some ways it makes sense. It's not his battle, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll say De Vries is obviously going to be putting Palm under a lot of pressure. You know, if he didn't let him through. So I think it gives Sven a chance to close up to these 3 cars ahead of him. But getting closer and closer now to the back of Herlock's car is Patrick Rozak. To go out to turn
right
5
there
6
now.
once again. He is.
Right there. He was 1.5 behind at this point on the last lap. He's now 6 tenths off the lead. So, yeah.
I'm just seeing
Daniel
Matteo
Herlock's
Bolko.
going to have a lot of pressure.
Yes, I'm just seeing Matteo Bolko pitting for a new front wing as well. He's answered somewhere on the circuit. I think it's the last chicane. Last time round. Yeah. And Martin getting right up the back of the gearbox of Rozak.
I thought he was going to give him a little tap round there.
But again, once again, Herlock going to have these 2 cars behind in the mirror, and Herlock trying to break the toe a little bit as they go into the chicane once again. Herlock's taking a very defensive line. Oh, that's a bit awkward. Yeah, it's a little bit naughty from Herlock, I think, there.
Going to have a hell of a run now on Rozak.
Yes, Rozak got a poor run. Emerson's going to come in alongside.
Can he hang it around the outside into turn 3?
Oh, what's it moving? A wheel inside. Oh, look at that. Gets the traction.
He positioned his car beautifully, though. Really nice move by Hemmingson. Time together again under braking.
Wow, goodness me. Hemmingson.
Rozak down to P3 then.
Tell you what, Hemmingson not pulling any punches today.
Nope.
He's really been assertive in his moves here. You know, at Canada here. Maybe a little bit of frustration with the penalty that he got the last time out in Baku, but you know, he's been fantastic so far today in P2. And as it stands, he would be going out of Canada provisionally at least with the championship lead if positions stayed as they are.
Well, this is what I was saying about Rozak a couple of laps ago. You know, he needed to get that move on Daniel done so that Hemmingson didn't wander up behind him and do exactly what he's done. So unfortunate for Rozak, it's not all over yet. As we saw from race 1, it can change in the blink of an eye. But Daniel Herlock, he's got about the second lead at the minute. So I think Hemmington's probably just regrouping himself and, yeah, won't be long. Oh, there's a lag, an absolute almighty lag. As Hemmington, yeah.
Yeah,
so
he's in the pits.
Herlock out, yeah. Oh, no, he is. Sorry, no, he's pitting, but yeah. Bad luck for him.
In the pits, but he is going to be gutted because he thought he solved these problems out last time out in Baku, but unfortunately, lag spikes have robbed him today. You could say of a victory here this afternoon or this evening. But Martin Hemmingson leads this race. He leads from Rozak, of course. Now after that, and you've got Sven De Vries now in P3. Amari Watson up in P4. He's got ahead of Tom Voss as well. He's going to be really, really impressed with his evening's work so far after a strong race 1 as well. And Anosky in P6.
I was really impressed by Amari in race 1, actually. It's not a name that I necessarily recognise. But yeah, he's really strong race 1 and a really, really strong race 2 so far.
Tell you what, he's got a big, big following, you know, in the GPVWC community since he's joined, and gets on with a lot of people. Brilliant person to talk to. If you ever send him a message with support, you know, he's one of those who really appreciates everyone who comes to him, and he's an ultra positive guy. That's the one thing I say about Amari. He's a brilliant, brilliant person to be around, and we just hope he sticks around for a long time to come. Since he's joined, he's been absolutely brilliant, not just on track but off track as well. He's got Tom Voss following in his footsteps on track, you know, in P5, trying to get the DRS off of Amari Watson, but he ain't going to be in a position to pass this time round. Odonosky P6, Lexo in P7. He's done well from his starting position with his teammate now, Isaac Morris in P8 after that incident earlier on. Mike Bell in 9th, Danny Robbins in 10th. Branson 11th, he's made up good progress from near the back of the grid. Caneo in 12th. Flask in 13th, August Land from pole, now down to 14th place. And Chris Griswood in line for points here for Valley Esports as well. I think is that Tom Parker? It is Tom Parker in 16th place. So I believe 29th on the grid.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good start there. I mean, he's had a bit of help with the various lags and crashes, but he's kept it on the track. He's so far not managed to get involved in anything. So, yeah, I'm just watching Hemmingson again. That gap's getting a little bit bigger. We're expecting Hemmingson just to run away now. Do you think, David?
I think he'll just comfortably just keep the distance. That's all he has to do. Rozak will be doing his damnedest to keep close, but I think Hemmingson will just he won't run away, but he'll just make himself a comfortable gap and just leave it there. I think there's no reason for him to build the distance several seconds. Bear in mind as well, he's also got Sven de Vries just behind as well, a couple of seconds behind.
De Vries has still got the DRS.
Oh, Voss has made a mistake. Voss has made a mistake into the chicane. He's lost the position to Andonovski. And he's changed his car for this race as well. I can see he's back in his original car, so good stuff. I might have heard the broadcast and heard about that, so good stuff from him. Now he's got the two Nova cars behind him as well, Lexo and Morris. So a small update to that car for this event. You might be able to tell the mirrors and the wheel, the rims as well on that car has been changed a little bit. Some people like that, some people may not so. It's still a cracking looking car, nonetheless. Oh, and behind you've got Mike Bell and Danny Robbins almost hitting the back of Mike Bell's car under braking as well, but just about gets away with it. 9th and 10th for those guys. Robbins actually getting a lot better since he joined Rookie Monsters, results wise, since Zandvoort. So good stuff for him. Back up front, Emerson keeping that gap to about a second now. I think Rosak will just about get DRS down the straight, so he might close up a little bit, but Emerson's still comfortable for now.
Yeah, De Vries I think is going to be one to watch. He's keeping with them. So Rozak will be aware he's there, obviously. So that might be one that will just start to reel him in a little bit, lap after lap. I'm sure he's getting a little bit closer. I think the gap is about 8. No, not 8 tenths. Can't be that much. Wait for my timing screen to update. There we go, 3 tenths.
There's a new further back as well, going into chicane, and looks like Griswood trying to overtake. Oh, there's a car off rejoining as well. I think that's Caneo, but a bit of contact there between Griswood and Paul Gaslan. Down to 16th. Parker now into the point. He's in 15th place. Not a one to be 15th, but a good recovery drive nonetheless at 15 places. This battle for 13th now, these few points, it's always important, you take any points if they're given to you. This battle for 13th place is going to kick on a little bit now, because I think there's going to be a bit of rolling chicane.
You know personally how important those points are as you get to the end of the season after last year, David. So,
Beg, borrow, steal.
Yeah,
Beg,
exactly.
Steal. That's what you do. I'm telling you now. Yeah, Hemmingson up in front and still keeping up. And I hear there's an incident as well. I think there's been an incident. Tom Parker going. Parker,
no,
Parker's hitting the back of Griswood. Now Griswood with a brilliant reactions there to keep hold of the car, but Parker living dangerously, hitting the back of Griswood's car. I think they will just about get away with that. But great stuff from Griswood to keep that car in a straight line.
So we're at 2/3 distance now, David. This is about the time where it all starts to go mad again.
Not too
maybe.
mad. Otherwise, we might have a voice by the end of this. But everyone seems to be nicely sort of spread out at the front end of the field at least, so it shouldn't get too hectic there. It's going to be in these sort of later positions, Caneo, Griswood, Parker, August Lard, Liam Rance trying to keep up with this battle as well in 17th. This is about, I think, the time being to be keeping an eye on, because it's nice to look at these battles, not just at the front, but in the midfield as well. And for all these teams as well, Drive Game Seat and Valley Sports, they've had okay seasons, but points is their target every time they go out on circuit, and it's been important times for these teams, particularly Drive Game Seat, not had the best of seasons. Their second season in GPVWC, of course, as Tom Parker looking for a move down the inside, wheel-to-wheel contact between it. Oh, Parker gets the move done there, assertive,
nice
but brilliant at the same time.
So he's looking at the back of Filippo Caneo now. He's going to be the next one. So
I think Caneo's going to hold on this time around. As long as you don't make any errors into chicane, he should be fine for now. Looking back up front, gap between the leaders 7/10 between Henriksen and Rozak, and De Vries and further 6/10 behind them as well. Then you've got the gap to Watson, who's now gap between Andonovski and having a look there as well. And we think that Sven De Vries lost a little bit of time out of turn 2. He's dropped back about a second or so between the two up front, so you could say for the time being two-way battle for the lead. Henderson looking to keep that gap comfortable for the time being.
Tom Parker Parker, not Barker, apologies. Tom Parker had a little look at Caneo into turn 1. There was literally a cigarette paper separating the distance, but yeah, sensible driving, sort of tucked back in, but I don't think it's going to be too long.
Parker getting very close to the back of Caneo's car. Is he going to make it 2 out of 2? In 2 laps, he's going to be looking down the inside again. Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. Straight through. Look at that. That's,
again, he came from P30, was that right?
Yeah, after 13
places, yeah.
He's done what Mike Bow did in race 1. Of course, them two as well. Great banter as well. Oh, a lunge from Griswood.
Wow. Griswood just forces his way through there. Interesting.
Caneo did not like that, did he? He's showing his displeasure, I think, at that move.
Yeah.
Watch out for August Lan as well. He's
August Lan is there. This should be an interesting chicane.
Everyone seems to be fairly sensible. Liam Rance as well, closing up to the back of these cars as well. Don't forget this battle for overall at the front of the field from 13th place. Also, you got De Stoop and Gerrit Vries maybe looking to close up the gap on these cars as well. Looking to all those guys we look at points if they can.
I think Rozak is closing Henriksen.
He is. He definitely is, and in striking distance. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he is not.
Commentator's curse. I do apologise, Rozak, just as I say it.
I'm here all season, guys. If you want one, you're going to get a curse, basically, after that. But yeah, Henriksen now will be a bit relieved.
I've done all of that work.
Yeah. Rozak, losing time and position. Well, we're losing time there, and his chance will be a chance. There's only going to be 3 laps to go after this lap. You're going to have to do that hard work all over again. But looking good actually here today. You know, maybe not. He made the mistake at the end of race 1, of course. You know, he'd be gutted about that. But
Caneo on the inside of Griswood for 14th in the hairpin.
He is. There we are. Liam Rance has passed August Lan as well, up to 16th, and August Lan's getting about as close as you get. As you do it if you're doing an MOT at the back of that gridline car. Griswood looking down the inside. They're both these battles looking to change position. August Lan turning to the side of Liam Rance's car, not making position as well. And just looking ahead, Flask has passed Danny Robbins as well for P11 for 860 Racing as well. Great stuff there. And Andonovski has passed Tom Voss on circuit as well somewhere, because Andonovski's up to 5th. And Lexo, after doing so well in race 1, of course, he's done pretty well to get to 7th position, looking to capitalise in these last couple of laps as well on these 2 ahead. And I think Henriksen lost a bit of time actually at the hairpin. He got a bit of a drift on.
He's managed to gap.
Yep.
I watch him every lap and I think, oh, is he lost? No, he's fine.
Yeah, if you could get away with that technique, you can, but it's a dangerous game to play.
Oh, God, yeah.
I certainly would be losing a heartbeat or 2 through there if I kept doing that. But
Voss is getting a nice run on Andonovski. Nothing he can do into the chicane, but the gap is coming down and down and down. So, can he do anything into turn 1? I'll be surprised.
I don't think so this time. No, Andonovski, a great debut actually from him. You know, a bit of an unknown for a lot of people. You know, I wasn't so aware of his history myself, I must be honest, but he's done a good job. But hopefully he'll keep his seat for the foreseeable future. Fingers crossed. I think he will be after this performance today. He's been really good. Tom Voss looking over the back of the Neptune car ahead.
Yeah,
no different place to pass.
Took a very interesting line through the first chicane. Allowed Tom Voss to really really close up behind. So I think on the DRS straight here, just trying to see how close Alexo is. Incredibly close to the back of Voss as well. So this could get a bit spicy.
Can do. We've got
Give it
one and a
another
bit laps
corner.
to go, of course. There's not long to get your moves done.
Anything into the hairpin? No, everybody's. That's it. Tom Voss has taken a much better line through the hairpin, so I think he's going to be in with a good shout of getting something done here. The DRS pops open, see if we can close up. Yeah, and Velocity knows that he goes defensive.
Voss is maybe just judging Andonovski for maybe a last lap lunge
Yeah,
or
maybe.
move on
Seeing
him.
how he's reacting.
But Andonovski's going to be defending hard. I think it's the last lap now. In the end of the day, Hemmington's still out in front by a second from Rozak. He's impressing all the time. I think he's going to have a few suitors next year, Patrick Rozak. He's done a good account of himself this year. And looking to get some more good points here today. 20 points he'll get if he keeps that position. Behind as well, Andonovski, Voss, Lexo still welded together. As they've got about half a lap to go now also. DRS again, but I think Andonovski's got too much of a gap for the time being.
Yeah, I think Lexo's going to be in the prime position here, because I think if Voss doesn't find a way through, Lexo's going to be in a position to maybe have a go at Voss. So
We'll keep an eye going up to the hairpin. See if Voss is going to make a move here. He's sizing him up.
Opportunity.
He's made a move down the inside. Andonovski turns in on him. But Voss is down the inside. That's going to be an interesting battle. We're going to see Andonovski, the side by side as they go into the chicane, but we've got to give Martin Hemmington his due here. He's going to take race 2 victory as well, keeping his winning round
going into the
winning
chicane
run here this evening. In this season, Martin Hemmington wins from Rozak. And that's a spin. Lexo and Voss, but it's Andonovski who comes out worse. Lexo is going to come across line P5, Voss 6, Morris 7, Andonovski going to be P8, Mike Bell P9, Granton P10. That incident I think is going to be looked at by the stewards afterwards. I'm just going to have a quick look at that myself, because there could be some people who gain as a result of that. Let's have a look here. So Andonovski, yeah, I think it's simply. Here we are. I'm just going to watch it back myself as we're going down the straight. It was 3 wide at one point. Going into the inside. Oh, it looks like a bit of contact actually between Voss and Lexo into the braking point. And that actually turns Lexo's car a bit to the left. And Andonovski is taking he's basically taking the racing line into the corner. That's a difficult one to say. I think you could argue Andonovski just turned in and didn't know that Lexo was there. So that's going to be looked at for the stewards. For sure, but we're just running down to full result of that. So Hemmington wins from Rozak from De Vries. Another podium position there for Sven De Vries this event, but Hemmington's going to come out for count at least with the championship lead. Watson 4th, brilliant stuff from him. Lexo comes across line 5th, Voss 6th, Morris 7th. He'll be really happy with his evening's work. Andonovski 8th, Mike Bell in 9th, Guillaume Branton ran at the top 10. Great recovery drive from him. Flask 11th, Parker 12th, Robbins 13th. August Lana 14th, Caneo 15th. That's all the points finishes there, and I'm out of breath after that, Ian.
Yeah, very much so. I didn't expect to see a 3 wide into the final chicane, so that was different. 2 into 1 doesn't usually work that well. 3 into 1 definitely doesn't. So, like you say, stewards will have a look. But no, great qualifying, great race 1, great race 2. I think it's been an absolute treat to watch this week.
It has indeed. Now, I think it's a good time to do some interviews. And as he's in the chat, I'm going to bring him in for an interview. And it's been a long time coming. And it's been a long time since we've seen. But Andrew Waring has come out of this event in his return to GPVWC with a race victory. Andrew, that was some special stuff out there today. P2, just getting pipped in qualifying, but you certainly made up for it in race 1.
Yeah, it's a good way to come back, and then I'll also like to announce my retirement at the same time. So please stop emailing me about joining your race team. Yeah, I noticed qualifying, the guys were not kind of where they expected to be. I just think nerves. Was able to put P2, and then kind of just was patient at the race. waited for DRS to activate, and then kind of just drove past them. Got lucky with a bit of battling behind, but then I was able to just to manage the gap. I'm not really familiar with R Factor 2, so I wasn't not sure how I do on the tires and stuff. So I just kind of managed the race from there.
And it was great stuff as well, because obviously you're coming in with respect, no pressure on your shoulders whatsoever. You just came in, enjoyed yourself as well, and obviously race 2, coming to a couple of problems there. I think it was a mistake on your part that sent you into the wall
Yeah,
in race 2, which is unfortunate. But
yeah,
it's great to have you. It's great to have you here, nonetheless. But
yeah,
I know it put a bit of a dampener on your event race 2. But I mean, the main thing is that you had fun.
yeah. And I think Menno messaged me like Sunday or something, or last Friday something, to participate, and I downloaded R Factor 2. And race 2 definitely sucked. I wish I could have done better, but it's just I wasn't expecting it to be as aggressive as it was, and honestly, it's a bit of a luck fest for sure in race 2. So I'm really happy with showcasing the race 1 pace and qualifying and race pace in general. So
Well, you looked in control in race 1. Like I say, David, before the broadcast was telling me about you. And yeah, you seem to sort of take to it like a duck into water, to be honest. For all of race 1, you looked in control. The pace was there. So yeah, I'm really disappointed for race 2. It would have been interesting. We said at the start to see how you'd come through the field. So yeah, bad luck, but again, amazing race 1 for you.
yeah, and maybe sick one day, or we'll see what happens later. But it was a good, nice to return. Happy it was for Canada. Um, I wish I could do it full time, but unfortunately, it just doesn't line up for me.
It's a shame, man, because obviously we go back a bit wearing, and
Oh yeah,
it's I always wanted you to come back. Pleasure to be able to commentate on you. And for those that are actually watching at home, wondering, it was the first victory since the British Grand Prix in Formula Challenge in 2015.
first time I've driven these cars since 2015.
Yeah.
R
So,
Factor
a lot-
2 since 2015.
But great stuff, wearing. And whatever you get up to in the future, Andrew, obviously we'll keep in touch. But we wish you all the best in whatever you get to
100%. Really
as well.
appreciate it, guys. Really appreciate it. Now I look forward to watching it back, and good luck with future broadcasts. And I wish the best for the whole series, because you guys have come a long way in 5 years from what I've seen. The racecraft in race 1 was really outstanding. Hats off to all the field for sure.
We appreciate that. But take care, Andrew Waring, and we will hopefully see you again one day in the future as well.
I'll see you guys later, eh?
No worries,
Okay.
man.
Don't get a bottle
I
of
am
champagne.
also.
Bye.
I'm going to bring in our next interview, Sven de Vries. We're going to bring in as well. I'm just going to drag him into the room if I can. There we go. And Sven de Vries here again, getting 2 podium finishes here today, obviously coming in as a championship leader here this evening. Sven, it was maybe not one drive of maybe your best event, but as I say, for racecraft and taking opportunities right up there, Sven, and coming out again with 2 solid podium finishes.
Yeah, obviously not what we hope for, but I guess we'll take it. They're points.
Yeah, so points make prizes at the end of the day. Obviously, what was that? 2 third positions here you took away this evening. I think you're going to provisionally at least lose the championship lead to Martin Hemmingson, but as we've said before, it's a long season. You still got 10 more rounds to go. And looking forward now to Paul Ricard next. Obviously, we haven't been there for a couple of years or so, Sven. But how are your thoughts going into that circuit? Is it a circuit that holds good memories for you?
I don't know if I've driven there, so we'll find out in 2 weeks, about 15 minutes before qualifying, I guess. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Gotta review today's races and see what happened. Didn't really go as planned. A lot of damage, so unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a rough event for quite a few people, as FC is commonly known for. But I say it's very much a 2-horse race at the top of the championship now between you and Martin Hemmingson now. So we look forward to that battle commencing next time out again in Paul Ricard as well, and look forward to see you there. as well as ever, and hopefully we'll speak to you once again in this room in a couple of weeks' time.
Sounds good. Thanks for doing the broadcast again, guys.
No worries, Sven. We'll see you again soon.
See ya.
I'm also going to bring in our last interview for this evening. I'm going to bring in Rodrigo Carvalho here this evening, the team manager of Neptune Simracing again, and another strong event for Neptune. Will come out again with the championship lead as well in the teams and the drivers' championship. Rodrigo, strong event again, another race victory, but also impressive stuff from your new recruits as well, and Danovsky as well.
Hello, guys. Hello, Berryman, David.
Hello.
Well, the race today was a mix of a lot of things. Your quality, first time that your quality was not good as was on the rounds before. Martin have the pace, but do not have the luck to make a good lap. And Timotej shows why we pick him. He's an experienced guy. Of course, he don't have too much experience on open wheels. He's most a guy that racing endurance, GTs, but with the little time he had with us, he improved a lot, and he showed why we pick him for the rest of the season. A pity what happened with him on the race 2, but 3 wide is dangerous in a chicane like that. Uh, but I'm happy that both finish on top 10, and Martin, ever with the problem having on the quality, he shows why he's fighting for the championship and why I have a proud to have a driver like him.
Yeah, I say it's. I see. So I think he was on an emergency contract before today, but I guess after tonight's event, it's someone you're going to look to keep on for the foreseeable future as well. It's getting strong in the championship as well for Neptune as well. 6 rounds, you've got a strong lead at the top of the championship now. You extended that today. I guess it's getting it might be a bit too early, but maybe you got one eye on next year as well, potentially.
Well, we just prefer to focus in round to round. We do not win anything. Martin also don't win anything in the championship. The other teams can improve. We see today a lot of teams improving and show that are on the similar pace to us. We just want to make more points as possible. And also about the race today, I hope people likes more fight for positions, because last rounds I see that some people do not like to make a more race. How I can explain a challenge like Gil Villeneuve and Arnoux made in '79 is a pity that it's not everyone that appreciate that, but it's the way that we race. Also, we addicted to race. This is what is right in our hearing, and we showed that today.
Nah, I say it's been a strong season so far for you and the team, obviously Martin as well. And hopefully we'll see you again in this room, like I said to Sven, in a couple of weeks' time as well. Difficult circuit, Paul Ricard, but we'll. I'm sure you guys will be working hard to get some strong results there as well. But congratulations on today's work, Rodrigo. Another fine performance.
Yeah, thank you. For Paul Ricard, we already make some things. We already have some things prepared, so we just need to focus in some details on the setup. By the way, I forgot to talk, but this is the race. I cannot make a good job on the setup for Martin Timotej, I think. But I have a lucky to have a driver like Martin Timotej. They show a good pace everything the problems we find on the setup.
Fingers crossed. But anyway, we'll see you in Paul Ricard. Hopefully, we wish you well.
Okay, thank you.
And, I'm going to just bring a quick interview to our last 2 people here today, Stephen Lexo and Josh Downard as well, who have had a. It's been great to see Stephen Lexo return to Formula Challenge as well, obviously getting the strong results here today, and team manager, obviously, Josh Downard as well. So speak to Stephen first here this evening. it was a bit unsure beforehand, maybe what to expect from Canada. It's obviously a tough circuit. We saw in qualifying how close it can be, but I'm sure for yourself, given the circumstances, you're quite happy with this evening's results.
Hello? Okay. Now it's working. Yes, I'm really happy with the result. Getting my first pole in GPV, which wasn't expected at all. I made quite a big mistake in the hairpin, so I was surprised that it was good enough. And yeah, the races were really fun. The first one, fighting with the top guys, not feeling as comfortable as in practice, and having to defend most of the time, and unfortunately messing up in the second chicane in the first sector. And yeah, the second race was all about attacking other guys, which was a little bit more fun. You're normally an attacker, so on the final lap on the final chicane, unfortunately, it didn't go out without any contact. But still, I'm quite happy with the results for the team. We scored 41 points with the team, me and Isaac, so we're pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, it was excellent work after probably a much needed boost after pointless Baku for the team. But Josh, it's put you back in the game after that. It was, as I say, we mentioned it was a rough Baku that you guys had. Obviously, Baku can bring things like that up, but it's Canada's tough racing, as we know. But you've come out today, strong results for Lexo, but also for Morris as well. So a much needed boost. I think that's his best evening's points haul of the season.
Yeah, I think it's good for the team. I think it was needed really because start of the year has been a bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. We had great round in Australia. Obviously Sam got a podium there, but then it's been a bit, shaky from there. Isaac had to miss a couple of rounds. I mean that didn't necessarily go too badly for the team because obviously we got Jonah win, he got us a win. But I think now it was a good round to just kind of get us all regrouped again. Obviously with Steven now here for the rest of the year. I think it was a good result for the team, and to be honest, while in the call together, it was a good team spirit as well, which is good. Looking forward looking forward to the rest of the year, really.
And it's going to be tight. It's going to be close in the standings as well. Obviously you mentioned you went down from P3 down to P6 after Baku. It's probably jumped up a few places now, but it's a long struggle this season, as we know. There's still 10 rounds to go, but I think now, would you say you've got a strong lineup going forward?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously we know Steven's quick. He's been quick since he's been at GPV, and Isaac, he had a shaky start, had to miss a few rounds, but I think this is a round that he needed to show that he's got it, and hopefully give him the confidence to be able to show it off more and more throughout the year. And I think, to be honest, I think we're only going to get better. At least that's the hope. Maybe we're too far back now after the start to challenge for the top spot. I think Neptune definitely have that one covered off, but we'll see what we can do. Maybe for PT.
So
That's-
both of your drivers today, Josh. Obviously, Lexo here in the chat. They Lexo sort of touched on with the differences between race 1 and race 2, having to go from basically living in his mirrors to attacking forward. One of the things I noticed, obviously, I'm not usually around here, but your guys really stuck out in their sort of ability to adapt to each situation. Again, Lexo race 1 defending. I think I mentioned it during the stream. He was putting his car in all the right places, really intelligent driving, and then being able to adapt to attack. Are you expecting that kind of performance, obviously, out of Paul Ricard?
I think so. Yeah, I think with these two drivers, they know what they're doing basically, and like say, yeah, part of it was adapting to the situation, but it's just generally having a good head. Knowing, like you say, for Steven race 1, he wasn't wanting to be really aggressive. He was just wanting to defend and keep hold to whatever positions he could. And race 2, obviously, kind of the opposite, but still not wanting to be too aggressive. And same for Isaac in both races. They both just have a good head on them and kept it clean. Obviously, last lap maybe not so much, as we would have wanted, but kept it relatively clean. And yeah, I think that as well is going to be good for the rest of the year, because the main way to do well in the championship is just to be consistent. We don't want to win a race and then get, well, I guess like what we did the last few rounds, one in Turkey and then get a pointless backy. That's not what we want. So yeah, going forward, we should be a bit more consistent, and I think we've got the right drivers to do that.
Well, we'll say hopefully for Paul Ricard that you have a strong event there as well. And it's a tough event, of course. Paul Ricard, we haven't been there for a couple of years or so, and for a lot of people it'd be a new experience. But we hope you have a good preparation and a good event in Paul Ricard as well.
It should be good. Thanks very much.
No worries at all. I think Iain will round off the broadcast and the interviews there as well. But it's great to have you here, and big thanks to Sandeep Singh as well on cameras once again, helping us out and the community out as ever.
He did a pretty good job, didn't he, Sandeep? He's pretty reliable like that.
That's it. So, Iain, thanks for joining us, and obviously we're hearing more from you in the future weeks and months with IMB Racewear as well.
Certainly
Joining forces with GPVWC, and we might see you here next week, or we might just have a special guest that we seem to be having every week now from whoever can put up with me, basically. So in the future rounds. But thanks to everyone who's tuned in this evening. We'll see you. Obviously, next broadcast will be 6 days' time for Super Cup here at Canada, and you'll be hearing from me in 2 weeks' time at Paul Ricard. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Take care, guys.